Hello and welcome to Y Space.
Hey y'all.
First of all, I need to give a shout out to my new office space.
Woo-woo!
And I have some artwork I need to give a shout out.
Look
If
at
you
that.
would please, if you're visually watching us, over here to my right. No, okay, the red one. These are three posters from the Eras tour that I had made by a woman who I'm going to shout out here in a second from the three
Oh,
shows that I got to see. Minneapolis, and it has the date. I'm gonna have to turn around because I'm struggling a bit. Okay, so it's got the friendship bracelets. First one on all three says the Eras Tour, and then the subsequent bracelets are the surprise songs, your favorite part.
love it.
Each show, and then the name and the date of the show. And then at the top of each one is a lyric from one of the surprise songs. And I did not realize that the Lord showed such favor on me through the Eras Tour that I literally at all three shows got one of my favorite songs at each show because in Minneapolis, if you will recall, I got Daylight,
Yes.
one of my faves. And also they're colored based on so in Minneapolis I was there the Dear John night and
Okay.
Daylight. And so it is red from Dear John being on, red. And then we're going to turn a little here. In the center, we have Los Angeles, baby blue, because that was the day 1989 TV was announced.
That's right.
And as we recall, I got New Year's Day, another one of my favorite songs, and New
You did.
Romantics. And on the top, it says, Hold on to the memories. They will hold on to you, because that's my favorite part. And then over here, we have New Orleans, Black for Reputation, just because,
Obviously.
but also because she did sing Dress at that one, but also Clean. My all time favorite song is Clean. And it says when I was drowning, that's when I could finally breathe.
And you were
So
living
these are from, I apologize, I did not have this ready. Her name is Ryan, and she has an Etsy shop. And she's probably really unhappy that I did such a poor job of doing this. But her Etsy shop, which we will link, is called RW Creative Studio UK.
Okay.
On Etsy. She is in Bolton in the United Kingdom, and she is fantastic. First of all,
Okay.
very, very, very affordable,
Yeah.
digital prints, high quality. And then she had to deal with me. I didn't tell her from the beginning what size I needed because I didn't know. So before she sent me the files, I went ahead and bought some frames, as you do, on
Of course.
Amazon. And then, of course, there were different sizes. And so I'm like, oh, by the way. And she's like, oh, within minutes, gets me the new digital files, resized and everything. Fantastic. And they are very high quality. And I love them.
Quite
So
the customer service.
shout out to Ryan in Bolton, UK. She does a lot of stuff, but for those of you who did go to the Eras tour, she's pretty known on Etsy now for these. And I love them.
Hey, they look really good.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
like it.
I got some other prints made. Becca has seen pictures of. One is a quote from Daylight, and one's a quote from New Year's Day, and then one's a quote from Clean. I mean, shocker,
Obviously.
clearly. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Ryan because she was awesome. And if you're on Etsy, get on it.
There you go. We love it.
So welcome to episode 55.
55, Mandy. That's a lot of.
It's a lot of consistency of putting in the work. I'm just
It
saying.
really is.
Just saying. But we have a lot to talk about today. I have taken copious amounts of notes, which is not what I typically do. If you were curious, Becca's a note taker and I'm a winger. I just wing it.
You do much better at it. You don't panic internally like I do.
Well, I do have a few questions for you that I didn't tell you about. Because I do enjoy just a smidge of making you stress a little.
Good.
But if you're not into pop culture, today's episode's probably not for you. But today we're going to do a deep dive on the Grammys that happened on Sunday.
Yes.
And
whew,
listen, we've got a lot of topics, but what we're going to do is we're going to start with fashion.
Okay.
Let me hear your loves first. Whose fashion did you love first?
Okay. I loved Cynthia Erivo's dress. It was very like a class. Here's the thing with the Grammys, it's not like MTV Awards where it's crazy, but it's also not Oscars where it's super fancy.
Right.
But I love when they can like meet the two together, where there's like a classic look, but a little bit of edge to it. And I thought she did such a good job with like a statue straight navy blue dress. And then it had a little cutout like around the belly button area, and then the silver up top.
It just, all I could remember was her hat. She had a hat on, right?
She did when she did a performance.
Okay. And if you're not familiar, she is in the new theatrical musical performance of Wicked.
Yes. So I thought she did great. Her nails, listen.
Oh, how do you do that?
I don't understand how people like do daily. I'm talking unzip your pants.
Open a door handle.
Yeah. Listen, how do you do all of that? She said it took, they were like, well, how long did it take you to do your nails? She was like, oh, just 5 hours. 5 hours.
That's more than it takes to do anything.
She looked fantastic. Loved Shabuzi's suit. I think you and I talked about that. Again, a classic suit with a little bit of an edgy spin to it. It had like a
texture.
Yeah. It was like a texture and then string stuff. I don't know, but he looked good.
Yep.
Let's see. Olivia Rodrigo. She looked great.
Yep.
Just a simple black, very deep cut. I couldn't pull it off, but she looked great. So those are the ones that I really loved, that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, we've got, I had Olivia Rodrigo too. So Olivia is known for, at events like this, for going classic. And this was very classic. I believe it was Valentino, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Sounds about right. Black number. And yeah, she's a pretty girl. I mean, she just is. I'm not a fan of her music per se. I don't dislike it. It's just, I'm not 18. So
yeah.
I also like Shabuzi's suit. I like the texture. I also noticed John Legend on the red carpet, but not during his performance. He had a very nice tux that had some texture. I'm liking the texture on the classic tux because it just kind of brings it to life. We'll talk about Trevor Noah's emceeing of the show. That's a different topic, but I will say overall, I thought all of his tuxes were lovely.
Yes, very classic.
Coco Jones. Now listen, this is not an outfit I would typically go with here because there wasn't a whole lot to it. But she is just a stunning woman to me.
Gorgeous.
I just think she is, and she looks like she's the nicest person ever. If she's not, I don't want to hear it. Don't come to my DMs.
Don't tell us.
And those of y'all in my DMs, I'm coming for you in this episode. So y'all wait. Stay tuned. Y'all were hot this week. Also, you didn't say it, but I am going to go ahead and say it. Actually, and I know we differ on this. I actually really liked what Taylor had on.
Okay, I didn't dislike it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It was a red number. It was short, and I will say it kind of seemed like the year of short. Kelsey Ballerini was also in a short number, which we liked, other than the cone boob. It's
too Madonna.
But I did really like Kelsey's hair and makeup. I thought she looked gorgeous.
Right.
I don't like cones. Taylor had on a short red number. I was not anticipating red, though I appreciate it for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I just, last year we did the whole white and the black glove thing.
This was definitely a step up for her.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but listen, if I had legs that look like hers,
you couldn't tell me anything.
I most likely would go everywhere naked. I mean, it's just probably the truth.
Oh my God.
Very famously now wore, I don't even know what you call this, like a leg chain? A leg lace? I don't know, with a T and 12 stones. Now, you could argue Taylor Nation said T for tortured. Could be. Her name is Taylor. That starts with a T. Travis starts with a T, and I just want to call out that she never was into this T thing until she was with Travis. So
it's true.
She designed it with Lorraine Schwartz, who I do believe, if she gets an engagement ring, will be the designer. And Lorraine herself posted that Taylor did design this and did insinuate that it was about Travis. So I'm here for all of those things. But I just thought she looked really good. Her hair.
I didn't understand. It almost looked like she had sprayed some of it back so it wouldn't flop in her face. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I was glad it wasn't a straight, like straight as a board with the
Yeah, I
bangs.
would have gone with that outfit.
Yeah. So those were the ones I was really liking.
I think I was well, besides her legs that I just could not stop staring at.
Wow, those quads,
Right.
holy bananas.
But did you see how quickly and effortlessly she walked across that red carpet in those heels?
Always. I mean, let's think about the way she saunters during the Eras tour in heels that we wouldn't survive walking to the front door in.
I wore heels to the office yesterday, and every 2 steps that I was taking in my head, I was like, Rebecca, you look like an absolute fool right now.
Yeah. No, I was stunned by that. We have not gotten a lot of after party pictures. I've read a lot of places,
Yeah.
maybe because of everything going on in LA, either there were less parties or definitely less publicized. We did see some pictures of Taylor leaving the venue in what looks like a silver number that's sequining. That was I was thinking silver for the Grammys this year. So red, I was stunned. But and I will say, I don't know if you agree with this. Red is my favorite color. I don't know if this is a weird take, but I don't think a lot of people can pull a solid red outfit off.
No, it's hard to find the right shade.
And it's like orange too.
Yeah.
Yeah. She can pull it off. So okay, let's talk about some misses. Who missed for you?
Let's see. Nikki Glazer's dress. I didn't love it. It looked and I think it was the neckline, looked like a high school's home ec project where it was like you have an assignment.
I thought it was a great color. The baby blue is a great color for her.
Yeah. I think you pointed out too, her hair did not look great.
Number one on my miss is her hair. She went with like a natural curl look, and she's a beautiful woman.
Here's the thing. At the Oscars, she was stunning.
Drop dead.
Every outfit was a hit. Like, it was great. So this it felt like a nosedive on that.
Yeah.
So I didn't love hers. Obviously, Billie Eilish looked like an emo sailor. I was not understanding like the little hat and she's so pretty.
Her eyes are probably some of the most gorgeous blue eyes on the planet.
And I don't understand why she doesn't lean into that. Listen, if you're not comfortable, I get it. But just like, I don't know. I don't understand why she doesn't lean into being a little bit more on
my list too.
Gracie Abrams looked like the friend that played dress up for too long after you grew up. And it was like, oh,
I didn't saw someone say, and I don't know if this is true. I saw someone say that this was an homage to her dad's work on Star Wars.
I didn't see that, but
I don't believe that. I'll be honest. Yeah,
it's like a Chanel, like a cream colored dress with a hood. It kind of looked bridal, but then also like not.
Yeah,
it was a huge miss for me.
She's again stunning. So
yeah,
what are we
she
doing?
Tried to pull off something a little bit edgier, more her age.
Yeah,
this one seemed like you were trying to lean way too into vintage Chanel, and it just didn't work. And then the other one I think you and I can both agree on is Kanye and Bianca.
Listen, I've got a whole topic on that in a little bit.
We'll circle back to that.
We'll come back to that because that's a whole thing. We had some similar ones. I had a couple of other things. Willow and Jaden Smith. First of all, I don't know why y'all were there.
What was that?
Why does Willow, who again is a stunning young woman, what is she doing with her teeth? Why are we blacking out our teeth now?
It was a grill.
So you've paid for that.
It had like a bar up the middle, and then one of her teeth, it was like green, but the other one was normal. It was the ugliest grill I have ever seen. I'm not a grill person, but they make better grills.
Yeah. And you have money.
Right.
And then her brother, Jaden, he wore I don't even know how else to say this other than he wore a house on his head.
He didn't wear a house on his head.
Things I never thought I would say. Why?
How do you think that because they all sit down with like a designer and like have ideas. How do you think that conversation started?
How did he get that in the car?
Say that again?
How did he get in and out of the car?
Well, don't they come in those like big vans that have like the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening.
The last driver sat behind him. or beside.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
he bound
Excuse
like
me. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just a lot. Alicia Keys, another beautiful woman. What were we doing with chandeliers on our ears?
yeah. And I couldn't tell if like the bar that was over her head, because it almost looked like a headband, was that actually helping hold the weight? Because those things were.
Something would have to, because your ears would just rip straight off your head.
Yeah, they were massive.
Gorgeous woman, total miss. Lady Gaga, again, I think Gaga, when I have seen her in just like no makeup, t-shirt, just regular plain Jane, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
What are we doing? I just am out. Also, J-Lo presented the Best Latin American or Latin Award, whatever, to Shakira. What was going on at the bottom of her dress? It was again that whole facade of like the dress is sticking out off of you.
Yes.
Only at the bottom.
I'm not quite sure.
When your hips and body look like J-Lo, you don't do anything but just
Right. You don't have to
make
do the like attention grabbing outfit. Like you can do anything and you're going to look incredible.
The other one I wanted to say that I did not enjoy, I will say her fashion is improving, but her hair is not, is Miley Cyrus. This new jellyfish haircut, they're calling it. I don't know why we're calling it that, but I am out with the blunt at your chin and then long.
Yeah. It looks like you went to a cosmetology school and it was like the kids' first day in class. Yeah. And you're like, give me layers. And that's all they know to do.
Yeah. And then they're like, no, you should stop. And so we're just going to stop halfway through the haircut. I just didn't like it. But I will say her fashion is definitely improving.
Do you think that hairstyle is this generation's the Rachel?
Oh, God, I hope not. I hope this was just a small blip in our radar.
I'm just wondering because so many of them had that and it was so bad.
No, please. I was thinking Bob at least, but not that. I can't. No. If I have to see, listen, if anybody that I truly love ends up getting that haircut, I will be, in the words of my friend Alicia, I will be devastated.
No, because see, here's the thing. In real life, you know you have good friends when you don't do things like that because someone in your life has either said don't do it or when you do it, they've been like, maybe let's go back. Let's go get something fixed. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, what was it, a year ago? I was like, I think I want some side swooping bangs because I want my hair to look like Blake Lively's. And my best friend said to me, yeah, that'd be great, except you don't look like Blake Lively, so let's not.
And it's a tough truth to hear, but it's needed.
It's fine. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. It saved you.
Okay, let's talk about some awards. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Grammys, it's a whole debacle.
A whole thing.
There's like 90 awards, but technically we only see 9 of them, and it takes about 7.5 hours to even see those 9. It's a lot. It's a lot of commitment. But we kicked it off with Best Rap Album. Doechii won. Now, were you familiar with Doechii before this moment?
You know, I think I had heard one of her songs, but I had no idea that it was her that sang it or anything else she's done. Yeah.
Now, she was presented this award by Cardi B. How did you feel about Cardi?
Listen, I think Cardi's hysterical.
She was just having the time of her life.
I just feel like every time she comes out and does anything, she's just so impressed with what she's done with herself. Like, as well she should be. I think she's a delight.
Now, she did get her butt pierced last week.
That's what you had told me. Yeah.
I have a lot of questions, and we won't go there, but
I mean, you do you, but there are some concerns I would have.
Yeah, it just seems like, okay, it's just not a good decision. But Doechii, first of all, she is only the 3rd woman to ever win. I got a lot of LeBron stats for you today. Okay. So she is only the 3rd woman to ever win this, which I think kind of surprises me a little bit.
Yeah.
But okay. She brought her mom on the stage.
Loved it.
Here for it. Now,
which isn't, by the way, her mom, gorgeous. Not a wrinkle on that face.
Looked younger than her daughter is all I'm saying.
Right?
I did not know that Doechii is known as the Swamp Princess, which is really not a name I would aspire to. But she's from Tampa, and so I think that's like a thing.
Yeah.
Now, you left this off your list, and I'm a little bit surprised because you had some commentary about her hair tape.
It was her face tape.
Oh,
It
I
pulls
called it
your
hair tape.
face
I didn't know what it was supposed to be taping, but we had tape in our hair.
Yeah, no. So you stick it to the sides of your temple and it's got a string on it and it pulls you back to tighten your face.
Oh.
So first off, many people use this, but the way that her hair was braided, you could see the strap in the back, but also like you could see the tape on the side. It was
I thought it was part of her costume. I didn't know.
Well, so she walked the red carpet with it. She performed with it. I'm pretty sure she accepted her award with it, but then afterwards she didn't have it on. So I don't know if it like came off. I don't know if it was part of the
Or do you think somebody was like, oh, S word, we forgot to take that off?
No, because your whole body is getting checked before you walk that red carpet to make sure that there's not a wrinkle, nothing's out of place. Like, so it was intentional to have it, but she's so young that I was like, what are you even pulling back? You're already beautiful. Like, I don't.
Wearing, an outfit, and she performed in the same outfit that looked like a flight attendant.
It did. It did.
You know.
But then she took that off and it was just underwear while she was performing.
I mean, as you do. Clearly.
You know what? If I had that body, you and I would also be on
naked as a jaybird. I'm just telling you, I'd be naked all the time.
Put me in a string bikini and I will sing and dance.
Yeah. Next up we have best pop vocal album. This was one of Taylor's losses. Which we're gonna get to. Super happy though. Sabrina Carpenter won for Short and Sweet. She was presented this by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I have never felt older than those two men looking like they could be in a nursing home.
Right?
I was like, oh my God, he has solid white hair.
So old. And I don't feel like they should be that old.
No, and I thought it was a weird choice for presenter I don't know. I didn't love it.
How do you think they get chosen to present certain awards? It's got to be like their labels and their publishers, right?
You just hold on. You jumping ahead of my notes. Okay. I got some stuff on that. I was super excited for Sabrina. How did you feel about Sabrina's? You had some feelings about her attire and her hair.
So her dress was gorgeous, which typically that shade of blue, I'm just not in general a fan of, but I thought it looked very pretty on her. Age appropriate, edgy enough, but also a little bit of a classic spin. I loved it. It was her hair and makeup that I just could not get on board with.
Her makeup always looks orange to me.
It's giving playing with your girlfriend's new products and like you didn't wash it off and like do your normal routine. I love
Sabrina Carpenter. I really do.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Yeah, I mean, I love her, but yeah. Sabrina also performed. How did you feel about her performance?
Listen, we were texting.
Yes, we were.
I don't know that I watched any of her performances when she opened for Taylor on tour.
Yeah,
so I went into it, yes, not really knowing what to expect. I think my takeaway, having no concept of what it was that she was more concerned with the actual performance and not concerned with the vocals because she wasn't singing into the mic, but it was live. Like,
it was definitely not.
Because when she screamed or squealed or whatever, it was loud. You could hear it, but like the vocals when she was singing, it was muffled.
Yeah. So, what you are not familiar with because you didn't pay attention when she would perform on the Eras Tour is she is very theatrical. The one thing that I would say is this was the least sexual performance I have seen Sabrina do. She became known for two things on the Eras Tour. One thing on the Eras Tour. On one of her songs, she would always change the little outro to be about the city they were in. So that was fun, but it was usually kind of a little sexual innuendo. I thought it was funny. Now, on her Short and Sweet tour, she became known for, she has a song called Juno, and every night when she would perform it on stage, she would do a different sex position.
Oh, as you do.
As you do, in front of your parents, grandparents, everyone alike.
Oh, no.
So that's kind of that. She is made to be on Broadway. I thought that's what I got from the book. She would be so good. I was thinking like if we did maybe like Legally Blonde again on Broadway, something like that, she would be so good.
I agree with that.
I was excited for her to win. Sure, I wish Taylor had won. But honestly, when I think pop, I don't think Tortured Poets. So for me, this was a great win. I thought
think
it
that
was. She did a fun little speech. You were bothered that she had written down some things.
Oh God, we can get into that.
Okay, we'll get into that because I know it's going to come up on another topic.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me as much. Hers personally. Now we're going to get on another topic that really bothered me, but she was so nervous, which I thought was cute and sincere. I was worried because it seemed for a minute like she wasn't going to thank Jack Antonoff, who produced her album, and
Yeah.
he and Taylor went nuts when she won, but she did end up thanking him. I was a little surprised she didn't thank Taylor, but I do think she's trying to kind of find her lane.
Understandably so.
In still a very respectful way, unlike Olivia Rodrigo, but that's a whole nother thing. So next up, we have one of the controversial topics of the night. We have the best country album.
Ugh.
So it was alluded by Trevor Noah at the beginning of the show that Beyonce would be there. She was not at the beginning of the show, but just somehow miraculously, right when they were about to announce best country album, she and Jay-Z and Blue Ivy showed up for their front row table. Just, right on time. Taylor got to present the award as a previous winner. A couple of notes on that. She did not walk out to Fortnite, her song that was nominated. She walked out to So High School. And
as soon as that song started playing, I was like, I am here for it.
Loved every minute of it. Gosh, she just oozes confidence.
Yes.
I want a tenth of that, just a tenth. Listen, if I had a half of it, you wouldn't be able to tell me anything. So a tenth is a really safe number. In her intro to the awards, she talked about how she had won it, I think, maybe 15 years ago. And she also called out some other previous winners. I would just like to note, I know you were not a fan of Easter eggs, but I would like to note that she was very animated when she mentioned Shania Twain. And when she went to the recording studio last year, when it was rumored that she was recording debut Taylor's version, she was wearing a Shania Twain shirt.
Yes.
I'll just leave that alone because I know you love that topic, but pretty sure Shania Twain's going to be on debut TV. But anyway, we had nominees like, let's see, we had Lainey Wilson, we had Chris Stapleton, we had Post Malone. Who am I forgetting?
Casey Musgraves,
and Beyonce. And Cowboy Carter by Beyonce won. Listen, Beyonce did a very horrendous job of looking surprised.
right?
The only to be nearly stood up by her own husband looking even more shocked, fake. Blue Ivy had to take control of the situation, and she was like, "Hey, y'all look stupid. Cut it out and go ahead and get up on stage." Blue Ivy is stunning.
Is she not gorgeous?
Does she have Jay-Z's DNA?
Yes, that's what we've been told.
Because man, I don't see it.
She's going to be better than both.
Now listen, okay. I've got a lot of Beyonce commentary, but I'm checking something here. I would like to say I need to go over here. I've got notes in too many places, everyone. I'm so sorry to be so disorganized. Try to be prepared for this episode. Go ahead and tell me your feelings while I'm looking for my note.
So when they call her name, I think we just all expected she's going to get it. And that lingered from last year's whole debacle with Jay-Z. But then the whole, like, she wasn't good at faking it. Girlfriend, you've known for however long that you were going to win this. And that was the best you came up with a surprise. Jay-Z didn't even look excited. He just kind of stood up to give you a hug.
Because he's like, that's actually not the one I paid for. Oh, wait,
right.
We'll get there. Sorry, we'll get there.
That one must have just gotten thrown in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. I was more in the Casey Musgraves camp of like, she was clapping to be polite, but like her face told you the whole story. It's just not, that wasn't a country album. And it's okay to say that. Like, if you think the album's good, great. But it was not a country. Just because you put the word cowboy on it doesn't make it country. You can't tell me that was a better country album than what Casey Musgraves has put out. Lainey Wilson has had a heck of a year, and her music has been fantastic. And Chris Stapleton, like, it just not okay with me. But then also what I gathered from her table, her bodyguard does not look like a fun hang.
No, I wouldn't mess with him.
No.
He looked terrifying.
He didn't even like the other celebrities around her. Like, he just was not, no.
Yeah, because even Drew, Taylor's little guy that's everywhere, he's cute as a button, first of all.
Love him.
And he's cordial. He hugs Trav. Yeah, that guy was like, I will kill you.
Yes.
I did not agree with this win. I'm going to save my commentary on her other win for in a little bit. I will call out something. And it's not my lane. It's not my place to say this. It is not often that an African American wins a country music award. Okay. Right. Now, because of Beyonce winning this, you have to keep in mind that, like, not only do you win the award, but so do the people that you were on the album with. For instance, Joe Alwyn has a Grammy that was fake, but whatever. But there were like 6 or 7 other African American artists who won Grammys because of this. Shabuzi being one, and none of these people had won a Grammy ever. Shabuzi being one, Tanner Aldell, Brittany Spencer, Tiara Kennedy, Raina Roberts, Willie Jones, and Linda Martell. So for that, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Props to you on that. I don't believe anyone should win an award just for any reason other than their talent. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I do think it's amazing that, and it's something people don't think about. She did not deserve this award. And that has nothing to do, again, she wasn't up against Taylor in this. So those of you that keep coming in my comments about, no, yo, that's stupid. Like, we'll get there in a minute. Don't worry. But there wasn't a country album. And first of all, she extrapolated. I would love to see the percentage of how much of that album is extrapolated from other songs.
Yeah.
It's not original.
No, not even kind of.
And so I was just so put off by this. Their acting made it worse. I mean, Beyonce looked beautiful as always. But hey, I'm going to tell you something, Beyonce. Your day is up because your girl looks better than you. Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
I think showed her mom up.
100%.
So, you know, we'll go there. Don't worry. There's more to come. Next up, we had Best New Artist. This was presented by Victoria Monet, who won last year. And Chappell Roan won. Chappell, she not only had a sticky note with her notes, she brought a whole book.
A whole journal.
Multiple pages of flipping.
A whole journal.
She gave a very long speech speaking out against labels. Basically, her point was like, she said, we got you, but do you have us? And she was talking about all these artists, you know, they give their lives to these labels. They don't have health care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not that I disagreed with anything that she said. She's right. But I found it interesting because she does not come out vocally, at least publicly, and support artists who are like putting their money where their mouth is.
Yep.
Like Taylor, for instance, the Starlights, her backup singers, or her band, all these people that have been with her for decades, even when they're not on tour, are paid.
Right.
And they have health insurance.
Yep.
Backup dancers, their parents come out and talk about how no one has ever, but you never hear Chappell Roan come out and applaud that.
Yeah.
So I kind of have beef with that. I don't like Chappell Roan. I mean, her performance of Pink Pony Club was whatever. I mean, it's obviously catchy. People love it. But yeah, it's just not my shtick. If you have to put on a performance with your makeup and your hair and your outfit, I'm just not interested. But
yeah, I think my thing was exactly that. If you have to go do this you have to make a crazy statement, because when you're accepting that award, that's not the time for what you were saying. That's not the moment to do that.
No.
And your outfit and your theatrics and all of that, like, if you're having to go out and just make this crazy wild statement to get people talking about you, maybe your talent's not where it should be. Maybe that's what we focus on. But please do not get up there and play the poor card when you're actually, you were the only one struggling during the pandemic. Like, it put me off. I will say, and I don't know if they did this last year as well, for all the new artists of the year, I liked that they had each of them like perform a little snippet.
I did too. I really appreciated that. I failed to mention that she was presented this award by Olivia Rodrigo, who has obviously won that award in the past. And apparently they're friends. Olivia was real quick to point out that when no one was Chappell Roan's friend, she was.
I caught that.
I thought that was that fits for Olivia Rodrigo, in my opinion.
I'm going to tell you, when they were all doing like a little snippet from their song and Benson Boone did his, first off, I love him. He's just like the cutest little thing.
Yeah.
But he does that backflip off the piano.
Off the piano.
If I could also do a backflip off the piano, I'd be a problem. I'd be backflipping off everything.
And we're going to talk about performances in a minute, but I won't say all, but a lot of Judd's little buddies on the football team, they do backflips in the end zone when they score.
Okay.
Judd is, he's a thick, solid kid. So after he saw Benson Boone do that flip, he said, I think I could do a flip. I said, please, my God, we've already fractured a leg. Let's not.
That might not be his lot in life.
No.
That's his celebratory dance.
Yeah, let's just keep working on your little move that you're trying to do. And let's not.
Something like that.
Then we had the best Latin pop artist, Shakira won. I'm never familiar with these people. She was presented this by J-Lo. But I will say J-Lo held on to that Grammy as she was handing it to Shakira like she did not want to let it go.
She sure did. I'm going to tell you though, Shakira's two boys.
Oh, they were
they were the best part of the whole Grammys.
The cutest little things.
I mean, you could just tell how much they enjoyed that for her. I love that because a lot of times, like, they call your name and you feel rushed and you're nervous and everything. Like, she took the time to stand there and like take in that moment with her kids. And then when they blew a kiss to her when she was the most precious thing ever.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next up, we had Best Pop Duo. Please keep in mind, I'm saying next up. There's like 3 hours in between each of these awards. And we're skipping the performances because we're going to get to that in a second. But Best Pop Duo went to Die With A Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. This is exactly who I thought would win. Obviously, me personally, it was Us for Gracie and Taylor. But I assumed this would happen. Lady Gaga with this one did break the record, has now won this 3 times. I didn't really have much to know. Bruno Mars is just amazing.
He's so good. I don't know if I know there's been rumor that he has a lot of debt, and I know he's made a comment like,
but I thought he was like poking fun at the rumors.
I'm hoping he was, but I would love for him to put out a new album.
Yeah, please.
Like, his last was so good.
Yeah, please go ahead. I mean,
love that.
Best record of the year. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar won. Kendrick swept. He was nominated for 5 awards. He won 5 awards for Not Like Us. I could not have been happier. Fortnite was nominated. Fortnite to me was not the song to nominate. And again, we're going to get to it, but anyway, I'll skip that part. Not Like Us though. Here's a little fun fact for you.
Okay.
Not Like Us and This Is America by Childish Gambino. Why can I not speak? Are the only 2 rap songs to ever win this category. That kind of surprised me.
Interesting.
I mean, in the history of the Grammys, especially like back in the 90s.
Right? I feel like we had a lot. Interesting.
I was super thrilled with this. I love, first of all, that he was wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Yes.
If you're unfamiliar with the Not Like Us song, it is like the diss track of all history. Against Drake, who is Canadian. So that was beautiful. It was also so poetic that the entire building was dancing and singing it and knew every word. And let me just say, the moment that the entire audience screamed A minor did me in. It was the best moment of the night for me.
Oh my gosh. Now, was Drake there last night?
He
Or
was not, but it did sound like when Kendrick was up there and he was like shouting people out, I thought for a second he said Drake, but he said Dre because he was talking to Dr. Dre.
that would have been hilarious.
I thought he said Drake, and I was like, there will be shots fired in the building. Like, but it was funny because Drake had said, if he has some lyric about if some words come out of Kendrick's mouth, just go ahead and give him a Grammy. Well, he got 5 of them for one song. Drake has only ever won 3 Grammys for his entire career. So
wild.
That is insane. I loved every second of it. So deserving. And then, of course, to follow up the night, Drake announced that he's got an album coming out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, I totally missed he even made an announcement.
Nobody cares, my friend. You are done.
Oh God.
But yeah, that was fantastic. It also won Best Song of the Year. I was great with that as well.
Yes.
And then we have come to the night. It was about 10:40 p.m. Central Time.
I was asleep.
We began at 5. Well, technically, we started at like 4.
Right.
And people were arriving early this year. It was weird. I don't know why. I'm wondering if there was heightened security.
It could have been that, or they could have realized, like, if you want some true red carpet time, get there early before. It was chaos at that entrance.
Oh, yeah. But even Taylor was early for Taylor.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, best album of the year. Cowboy Carter won. And I will say that this is the first African-American female to win Best Album since Lauryn Hill in 1999. So props to breaking some glass ceilings. This was in no way appropriate. If y'all are curious, we had some spicy comments in the inbox. I know a lot of you are Beehive people. That's great. Beyonce's fantastic. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve this award. And listen, nobody.
Not this album.
No.
Yeah.
If we're gonna say we're gonna give you this year in retrospect because you should have won it for Lemonade or maybe even Renaissance, we're just gonna give it to you for this one. Okay, that's one thing. I put this on my Facebook and I stand by this wholeheartedly. No one is more embarrassed to have won this award than Beyonce, because no one in that building or around the world believes that you truly deserved it, and that Jay-Z's little stunt last year about how you have won the most Grammys but never Album of the Year, everybody knows that's why you won. Now, listen, Travis could get up on stage and say, Taylor, one of the most prolific songwriters of all time, has never won Song of the Year. Right. She deserves it. And that would be true, but inappropriate.
Right. Right.
She did not deserve this. Now, did I think Tortured Poets should have won? Yes, I did. Did I think it was going to win? No. I told you, and we said it before when we did our deep dive on the album, this is not an award-winning album.
Right.
By the critics. Now, we're going to go to iHeartRadio Awards, and I guarantee she's going to sweep. Because the fans, that's a different ballgame. One thing I want to call out is not only did Taylor get swept and not win anything, but Billie Eilish had the same issue. Billie cried when Beyonce won. And I just had to chuckle. I know I shouldn't.
I was asleep for that. Do you think it was cried because she didn't win or because she was excited for Beyonce?
No, she was not. There was no excitement. It was very obvious. But I just want to call a few facts out, because I know some of you think that I think Taylor should win just because I like Taylor. No. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Taylor wasn't going to win, I despise Billie Eilish. If you listen to the show at all, you know that. And I would have said, if it's not Taylor, it's Billie.
100%.
Okay. So I would have told you that. But let's just look at some facts. Best-selling female albums of 2024. And these numbers are in millions. Let's see. Brat. Well, thank God that didn't win, because I was never going to watch it again. Even Brat had 3.38 million. Okay.
Okay.
Story of Us, Gracie Abrams, 3.4. Short and Sweet, 7.2. Billie Eilish, 8.05. Tyla, 2.94.
Wow.
Taylor, 12.95 million. Beyonce was at 2.5. 2.5.
Okay.
But
Well,
that's the best album of 2024.
I just think it's one of those things where, like, when Jay-Z pulled his stunt last year and they made a huge deal this year about how 13,000 people that vote. Here's the deal. Blocks of votes go to publishers and labels. Okay. Then they're going to make deals based on what artist has come to them and talked and made whatever promises. And they're going to say, I'll vote for your person if you vote for my person. And that's how it gets done. So, and that's across every award show that is not like fan voted. I will say it was disappointing how blatantly obvious this year it was that a lot of the awards, not just the ones that Beyonce won, but a lot of the awards were clearly done with backroom deals.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so obvious this year because you're like, that's not what was played everywhere. That's not what everybody was downloading and listening to. That's not what was all over social media. Like, it just wasn't. And even when Beyonce's album came out, there was a lot of criticism around it. It did not get all of the views and everything that she wanted it to. She even delayed her tour.
It just now got announced, and
because you knew what Grammy you were fixing to get.
And it's short. And here's the thing. If you're going to win the country, or if you're going to win the country album of the year, I would think that you would also win the country music album of the year at the Country Music Awards. Or I hate to bring it up, but maybe even be nominated because you weren't. Yeah. And so that should tell you enough that, like, your own genre that you're trying to break into didn't recognize your work.
Because it's not country.
It's not country. And again, I go back to, it's not original. I'll give it to Billie Eilish. I think Phineas does more of the writing, her brother, than she does. Regardless, he lets her take the credit.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy her music, but it's original.
Yeah.
And you cannot say that for Beyonce. I thought this was a joke. I thought it made a joke of the Grammys. But it's exactly what I thought was going to happen. And I thought it was stupid. And like, it just, and people want to say it's like Taylor versus Beyonce. It's really not. Like, Taylor didn't, here's the thing. Taylor did not put out Tortured Poets Department to win a Grammy. She didn't. This is not the same as the moment in the Miss Americana documentary when she found out Reputation was not nominated and she cried and said she needed to put out a better album. This is not that moment. This album had nothing to do with the industry. It had everything to do with her needing to close this chapter and her fans and saying, this is where we've been. This is where we're going. I guarantee you, she did not care that she did not win the Grammy.
No, she was clearly the bigger person than any of us because she was just best of times.
I mean, she is the ultimate hype woman.
100%.
Y'all want to create all this beef between Taylor and Beyonce, and they themselves publicly support each other in an extreme way. Like, y'all make yourself look as dumb as Jay-Z looks. Like, and here's the thing. Will I go to the Cowboy Carter tour? No. First of all, I'm still in debt from the 3 shows I went to. But it's just like, that's not my vibe. I didn't go to the Renaissance tour. I didn't go to the Lemonade tour. Like, I didn't go to any of those. I'm not going to go to the Beyonce tour. Now, if you give me free tickets, I mean, I might. I don't know. But I just thought it was a joke. And
it was disappointing, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it did. To Billie's credit, I mean, did I chuckle that she was crying? Yes. But to her credit, that was probably the best album she's ever written. And it deserved more than it got.
Yes, I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
I would even say, honestly, Short and Sweet. I mean, Espresso and Please, 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 those songs were everywhere. Where were all the Cowboy Carter songs?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yep.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about performances. So, I will say shout out to the Grammys that I thought it was really cool that between every commercial break, which seemed like so many, they did some tribute to LA businesses, small businesses. I thought that was really cool. So there was definitely the vibe of Trevor Noah was begging for money. with the QR code. That got super old real quick.
Quick.
But they had some performances that were very focused on LA. Mandy Moore's husband, his band, did a little LA thing. Because they lost their house and studio. Billie Eilish and Phineas did a performance of Birds of a Feather, Feather of a Bird.
Birds of a Feather. Feather?
I hate birds too, so that doesn't help. But I thought it was cool that they, like, their background was a tribute to the valley where they're from in the LA area, and showed the pictures of them as a kid in that same spot. I thought that was really cool.
I liked that,
yeah. Sabrina, obviously, it was pretty much a Broadway show.
It really was.
I want to call out Eras Tour fans, Nat, the younger Nat that would sit next to Taylor during So High School. He and Taylor Banks, one of the African-American backup dancers, were performers for Sabrina.
That's right.
And then cool. We had Chappell Roan. Cam from Eras Tour fame.
Cam was there.
Cam was there, and he said he got that makeup off his face so fast.
So fast?
Listen, I despise clowns. I'm terrified of them.
Even rodeo clowns?
Oh, I can't stand any of it. Listen. Just I think that Chappell Roan probably has a great voice. I think it is completely lost in all the theatrics.
That's fair.
I don't know. It was a lot.
Here's the thing. Do I like all the theatrics? And I thought it was weird 100%. But I think if she had just tried to stand there with like a few dancers and do that song, it wouldn't have hit. So, like, she did need something there, but
like, listen, you had a very large pink pony. That made sense.
Right. I get it.
It's the clowns. Why did we have to do that? Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga performed their song. It was very sad. Then, after his decade of boycotting the Grammys, The Weeknd made an appearance. Based on the changes that the recording artist industry's made, he made his apparently long-awaited return.
I didn't know we were waiting on him.
I didn't either. He's got a new album out now, or it's coming out. No, it came out on the 31st, didn't it?
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I was at the Grammys.
Yep, he had performed with Playboy Cartier. So that happened. Then they did a big tribute to Quincy Jones, which was great. It was very long.
Very long.
And no discredit to his career. I mean, prolific, but Will Smith narrated it, and I felt like he got real long-winded.
Because he always tries to make it about himself.
Just about to say, we had to hear all about him.
I can't.
It had Lainey Wilson, Stevie Wonder. They did the whole thing about We Are the World. I was really wishing that, like, all the Today singers were going to come out on the stage, like, and they were all going to do We Are the World. That didn't happen.
No, except for too.
Janelle Monáe, but it was great. It was just very long.
Yeah. Much than what I feel like they do for others.
Well, because I was about to say, next up, when they did their tribute to those that we lost this year, Chris Martin and Grace Bowers did that tribute in the beginning with Liam Payne from One Direction. That was heartbreaking. I did think that they put a lot in that part of it and a lot less for the other people that were lost, but that's obviously a big deal.
Yeah.
A couple of things I thought were really weird about that. First of all, LeBron stat for you. When Liam tried out for what show did they win to become One Direction?
X Factor.
He sang a Chris Martin song.
Okay.
Interesting. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, and maybe I just thought it was weird. The very first clip, so when the video comes up right before Chris Martin starts singing, it's the very first scene in the montage. It's Liam Payne talking, and he's on a balcony overlooking a crowd.
Oh, maybe we should have better.
I don't know where the QA team was on that, but yeah, I didn't like that. Shakira performed, and as all Shakira performances are, they're all the same.
Yeah.
But my favorite moment of the Shakira performance, did you see Taylor dancing with Alicia Keys' son Genesis?
I have seen a clip. Girl, I was asleep.
Oh, that's right. You went to bed way early. They have a cute little friendship, and the fact that she like found him and they started dancing was
So
just
precious.
loved it.
Yeah.
Um, Charlie XCX performed. There
Oh,
were first of all, she licked the floor, and
ew, ma'am.
but also there were a plethora of panties everywhere.
Oh,
It just littered
was
the
there a song
stage.
about panties?
I don't know. I don't listen. But they did put out a notice that all of the unused panties that were on the floor were going to be donated. Now, I had a lot of questions. Was there
To who?
to the people that lost everything in the fire?
I
But
don't want those panties.
how did we had to point out that they were unused? Does that mean some of the ones all over the stage were used?
Oh, listen, if you're licking a stage, you probably don't have qualms on used versus unused.
I just can't. It was as with everything
around. We can't be licking stages.
As with everything with Charlie XCX, I am totally out. I have seen some footage on Twitter or TikTok, I don't know, somewhere, of her and Troy Sivan and somebody else out to dinner after, and they're eating spaghetti with their hands. They're like dipping into the bowls. Y'all, she just licked a stage. You're all gonna catch something. Like norovirus is running amok.
Listen, it already annoys me hearing people chew, but when people eat and there's food on their fingers, I automatically think you are the lowest of low in life, because who doesn't clean their hands?
Yeah, it's too much.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Queen Latifah honored Alicia Keys with like the Global Humanitarian Award.
Okay.
So there you go. Some other notes I had for you. Lady Gaga premiered her new single during one of the commercials. It's called Abracadabra.
Okay.
Sounds like most every other Lady Gaga song.
Well, listen, if you have found your lane, stay in it.
I mean, please.
It's worked for her.
Yeezy.com also had a commercial.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting because when Trevor Noah was explaining that they were also going to have commercials in between each break advertising for these LA small based companies, he was very quick to mention that those commercials are very expensive to have. I just thought it was weird. I don't know. One of the notes that I have too of something I thought was interesting, and because I do believe everything is an Easter egg, unlike you, Taylor sat at a table with Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley. That's not weird. But she was also with the head of Republic Records, which is her label.
I did see that.
But she was photographed with many of the Republic Records executives and the head of the recording artist industry organization, whoever owns the Grammys.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I'm just going to say.
What do you think it means? If it's an Easter egg, what could it mean?
I think she's starting her own label.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And then there was something that you mentioned to me, and I don't know if we've seen any lip reading updates, but what do we think Jay-Z whispered to Beyonce when she won the Best Country album?
So somebody had said he was telling her that the underwire in her dress was popping out.
Which it was.
But like, what do you think she's going to do? Pull it out right there?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, in my opinion, he was like, I didn't even pay for this one. So I don't know.
We should go with that one. That's the narrative I like. This was a freebie.
Yeah. Look what you did. You didn't deserve this either. Okay.
Look at you.
And last but not least on my notes about the Grammys, would you like to go ahead and let's talk about Kanye and Bianca?
First off, I don't even know how he was allowed on the red carpet. You knew he was about to pull. As soon as I saw her in that jacket, I knew something was about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he had just shopped at Kohl's and grabbed some black pants and a black shirt. Mm-hmm. And then at some point, I do feel bad for her. But then I'm also like, but you are a grown woman who can make decisions.
Do you think she can get out?
I think her family has tried. So it's like you have people to go to. But then I also have to think about the flip side of like, brainwashing, and there's got to be some mental gameplay here as well. But when she took that jacket off and was completely nude, and we were watching it live on the red carpet, so not an inch was blurred out.
Nope, and my 9-year-old was sitting right there.
Whoo! You saw the tatas and you saw the hoo-ha.
The Pananchi.
All right there.
I mean, it was.
And I had so many thoughts, but then also I was thinking, like, Kanye, you're a dad and your kids are going to want to see what you look like on the red carpet. So your children have now seen your wife or whatever she is completely naked. And that's so inappropriate for a child.
But I mean, he gallivants across the world with her always naked, with North right there with him.
But then also I'm like, you're exploiting her. Now she looked very uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's because you're naked and
you're naked
cameras, or if you're doing this against your will. I don't know. Obviously, she's the only one that can speak for her. I just was so appalled at the spectacle. I appreciated that the people there just kept taking pictures like they normally would, and nobody went above and beyond to make a huge spectacle.
It was rumored that they were kicked out. And it's also been rumored that he was very aggressively reaching out to the organizers of the Grammys, wanting to have a moment with Taylor. Yes. I believe that wholeheartedly. I also think that may have had a little to do with the timing in which she showed up. Yeah. I have seen some pictures of them at an after party, Kanye and Bianca, and she is in yet another see-through outfit. I just need her to blink twice if she's okay.
Right.
I really feel like there is some kind of like cult kind of thing going on here, especially when her family is like, we would do anything to get her away from him, and like still nothing's happening. I just feel like this is going to be a documentary for the ages.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just very interesting. I don't know that we'll ever get what actually happened at the Grammys, because some outlets have said he was kicked out. Some had said he never planned to go in. He was just walking the red carpet. I don't know that I believe that. Kanye's not going to turn down a moment to be on camera if he doesn't have to. I do probably believe Tree had to do some extra work to make sure that there was no crossing of paths, because you just never know what stunt he's going to try and pull or, do. It was just, again, disappointing.
Because that day, too, he was very public on his social media that now he has unfollowed everyone but Taylor.
Right.
And I did have a couple people in our DMs asking if I thought that was an Easter egg for Rep TV. No. There is no way in hell those two are working together. That is.
I mean, she has come out and said that he mentally tormented her.
And I think it's something that she still is not like completely over. So no, those of you that asked that in the DM, no, I don't know.
No,
I have told Becca, I do think this whole Skims thing is weird, that so many people in Taylor's sphere have been involved in Skims campaigns.
Yeah.
I do not think that's an Easter egg, but I do think it's weird. But no, there's absolutely no way Kanye has anything to do with Reputation TV, other than he may be trying to preempt what explosion is going to happen in his life when those vault tracks come out. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much everything I had on the Grammys. Did you have any other Grammy notes for us?
No, I think I've just learned that I don't care anymore. I'm just going to like what I like.
Okay.
And if the Grammys want to give these awards to people that just truly don't deserve it, I'm still going to watch, because I'm still intrigued by the circus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm an artist, I care more what my fans think, because they're the ones who pay me instead of my competitors. So,
agreed.
That's kind of where I was with the Grammys. Did I think it was disappointing? Yeah, but I mean, I'm not shocked at all. But we do have something else big this coming weekend.
We do.
It is Super Bowl weekend.
I cannot wait. I can't wait.
I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I'm a lot of things.
Yeah. I'm a mess. And festivities have kicked off. So last night.
Yeah, like last night I was working on our house and you text them or like, are you watching media? Oh my God, it's right now. But
Yeah.
I've caught a lot of clips, a lot of great clips with Travis.
Yes. So last night was opening night, media night. So where they have both the teams come out, they're at the stadium. And then they kind of go in their own little booths and just answer questions. And you've got all kinds of reporters and stuff there. I'm gonna tell you, Jameis Winston,
So good.
when he decides to stop playing, some sports agency is going to pick him up because he was fantastic. I loved him so much.
Good. Yeah. Great. Yeah, a lot of great Travis moments. They, of course, asked him a lot of questions about Taylor, like they always do. He handled them all in stride. I died when they asked him if he was going to propose if they won the Super Bowl, and him hauled around, and then he said, "But wouldn't you like to know?"
Right. My favorite was when they were like, "What would you say to non-Swiftie NFL fans?" And he was like, "Who's not a Swiftie?"
I just love him.
I would say I think what I've enjoyed the most coming out of these media days that's a little bit different than how it was last year is how respectful. Now, the Chiefs are always very respectful and complimentary of whatever team that they're playing because they realize, like, we both got to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, you had a lot of smack talk from the 49ers in these little, what are meant to just be fun Q&A sessions. The Eagles are such a classy organization for how their players also speak. And it was just so fun to hear their answers and know that, like, you're getting a genuine answer, but we don't have to trash talk each other. And I just love that so much.
Yeah, I loved that Saquon Barkley said, he said he thought Chris Jones was probably the best defensive player in the NFL. I loved that. It was so nice not to have the 49ers last year were just ick.
I will say, so all of the players have matching like jumpsuit, sweatsuit things, and it has like their team logo and their number on it. So they all matched. And then the coaches were also wearing it. I love that Andy Reid is always going to be Andy Reid.
Yeah, and he's going to wear that Hawaiian shirt. He doesn't care.
Hawaiian shirt that has a little Chiefs logo on it. I was like, you do you, buddy. You do you.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I thought there was a funny moment with Patrick when he was doing his little breakaway session and somebody handed him a pillow to sign.
Yes.
And he starts to sign it and he flips it over and it's that dad bod picture. And he was like, hey, the dad bod looks pretty good here. I'm going to sign right here. I thought that was funny. Yeah, it's just, but I've read some articles about people that encountered Patrick yesterday. They said that he had a laser focus in his demeanor that they had never seen him have.
Interesting.
I'm here for it. Yes.
I wonder how they also, because a bunch of those guys, they've been there before. This is nothing new. They understand the hype that leads up the week before the Super Bowl. But you have these rookies that have no idea what they're getting into. And it throws off, you're not at home. You're not at your own facility. Your practice schedule and everything is not exactly the same. So I do wonder if they try and mentor and speak into these rookie players and be like, listen, don't make the moment bigger than it is. Like, still hunker down, stay laser focused. You know, we'll go out and do our media presence when we have to, but like, we're here for a game. We're here to win this thing. So I'm sure they take those moments to kind of speak into them and give them that guidance. Because after watching that opening night, I was like, this is just such a huge thing that, like, you don't get this before the NFC AFC championship game. You don't get this before any other random game. So, like, it's got to be a mental thing that you really got to lock in. But,
yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game. As always, we will not make any predictions. Clearly, we want the Chiefs to win, but it's going to be a fantastic game, I think.
Yes.
I'm just super excited for it. But I do have some surprise questions for you.
Oh, goody.
Just a few quick ones, and I think these will be easy for you.
Okay.
Who do you think, I want you to pick one player from each team. Who do you think is going to be like the game changer for each team?
Ooh, I do think that the Eagles are going to use Saquon Barkley because they have realized he's their weapon. I think he's going to make the difference on their side for them. Even Jalen has said that. Like, they haven't had that before. He's their difference this year. Man, on the Chiefs side, I think I'm going to give you offense and defense. I think defense, Karlaftis and Chris Jones are going to have the game of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Karloftis is having a season for himself,
Yeah,
but
really.
I think Chris Jones wants this more than any other Super Bowl he's ever played in.
Yeah.
So I do think that we're going to see a lot more push from them. I think on the offense side, I'm really hoping that Hunt and Hopkins have just stellar game.
Yeah.
I would love to see the two of them just make some like game-winning plays. Like one of them makes the game-winning play.
Yeah. Those are good answers. See, it was easy.
Okay. Whew.
You're good. You're good. All right. Let's see. Do we have any other? Oh yeah, I can look at my notes. Oh yes. Do we have a prediction as to what we think Taylor might be wearing at the Super Bowl? Travis did confirm she will be there. If y'all were curious,
If anyone was concerned,
I was so confused when they asked. I was like,
first, I was also like, what is Scott gonna wear? But I think he's gonna be all Chiefs.
oh, he's going to be decked. I think he's going to have a hat, a coat.
Yeah.
He may even have joggers on.
Lanyard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
What do you think?
Taylor, do we think she's going to stick with her normal all black and do like a Chiefs, maybe a jacket or an 87 on her purse?
Well, we got to think about a couple things. First of all, New Orleans is a little muggy, a little hot.
Yeah.
And
but it's domed. It's air conditioned.
It's indoor, so we could have a coat. Does make me wonder, will we go with natural hair?
Oh, okay. I can see that.
I don't know. We'll see. I think we're gonna. Of course, I've been wrong a couple times already this season. I do think we're gonna have a corset.
I can see that. Are you thinking black, or do you think she's gonna go Chiefs colors?
See, I think she went Chiefs colors at the Grammys so she can go all black at the
yeah.
But I don't know, because there's been so much hoopla about, oh, but she grew up an Eagles fan. She's from Philadelphia. Maybe she does go big. Also, but I have pointed out we have not had our like Kelsey
on
her this year.
Get some 87 earrings, maybe.
There's going to be something. I mean, we don't have the T on the thigh for nothing.
Right.
So I'm pumped for it either way. Well, surprise question for you. Do you think we'll have any celebrity friends in the suite with her?
I'm sure we will. I'll be interested to see, because we know that like Bradley Cooper is a huge Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, are they? And listen, you're going to have probably Jason and Kylie there too. Are we mixing fandoms? Are we going to have some Eagles fans in with the Chiefs fans, or are we going to have to do two different suites?
Oof.
That's my concern.
Yeah. Well, because not only you got Bradley Cooper, will Gigi come with him, or will he bring his daughter, or both?
Yeah.
Also, Miles and Kelly Teller, I don't know if they're still in the inner circle or not, but they are huge Eagles fans.
That'll be in her suite.
Yeah. No. I do think Ashley Avignon will be there. I feel like she's always there.
She's done it a lot. It just depends on how, because you have so much family that's coming, and then Travis's childhood friends that are always there.
Yeah.
And then you've got Taylor and her family. So it's kind of like there's not as many tickets. So that's why I'm wondering, are they getting suites next to each other?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. She's definitely even more ingrained this season with the other WAGs, like his wife and she Chris Jones's wife, or not wives, girlfriends, fiancés, whatever. So yeah, I could see her doing maybe more of a family vibe. I do think Ashley will be there because she's kind of always there. Yes, I got the questions about, do I think Blake will be there? No. And no, I don't think it's because of the drama. I just don't think she'll be there. I don't see it.
No. I'm not inviting her if she's coming.
Great. You gotta always be spicy about my people. All right. I hesitate to ask this question.
Okay.
Well, because we know the Chiefs are going to win. We're just going to say that. So who
put it out there?
Okay. I don't know, because I have in the notes MVP predictions, and the MVP has to be from the winning team. So,
but isn't the MVP always going to be the quarterback?
Well, I mean, okay. Yes, if you win based on a passing offense, but if you win because you have a running back who scores multiple touchdowns, could it be a running back for either team?
I think if the Chiefs win, Patrick's going to get MVP. But I do think if the Eagles win, it will be between Jalen and Saquon.
Okay, that's good. See, we went both ways either way.
Yeah.
All right. We had a little bit of college football news this week, not as much now that the season's over. Just something I called out to you that I think is interesting. We obviously are not Ohio State fans, and we are for sure not Ryan Day fans.
Right.
But there's something interesting happening in Columbus. Now the defensive and offensive coordinators have left. The assistant quarterback coach has left. The offensive line coach has left. We had one staffer fired for sexual misconduct, and we've had 7 players already enter the transfer portal.
Yeah. Something's happening there.
Do you think it's the beard?
Maybe they were like, Ryan, if you're not going to give it up, we've got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
During another meeting.
It is interesting. Chip Kelly was their offensive coordinator, who obviously used to be the head coach at UCLA. He's now the offensive coordinator of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Who are in need of a quarterback, and the Ohio State quarterback Will Howard is in the draft. I don't see him drafting him that high, but maybe a backup. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch and see what transpires, but something's in the water there.
Yeah, something is weird. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. One of them is a little lengthy, but I thought it was a good question. This is from Jordy.
This one was funny.
Do what?
I said this one was funny just to think about.
Well, yeah, because I envisioned it in my head. Anyway, Jordy asked, rank who you would allow to watch your children 1 through 10, and she gave us 10 options of people.
Yes.
So let me run through the people that she gave us first. She gave us Taylor, Blake Lively, Kylie Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, Jason Kelsey, Oprah, The Rock, Aaron Rodgers, Ryan Reynolds, and Hoda Kotb.
Yeah.
All right, we want to go 10 backwards, and you do 10 yours, and we'll do them together.
Yeah.
All right. Who is the worst of this list to watch your children?
Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually went Aaron Rodgers because he terrifies me, and I don't want Judd to end up in a cult. But yeah, okay.
I'll give you my reasoning once I get to him.
Okay. Number 9?
At The Rock.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm afraid he's going to take them to the weight room and try and make them bench press, and it's not going to end well.
Okay. Well, I went with Oprah here because I don't feel like she could be bothered with a child.
Well, that's fair.
Number 8.
This is where I went Aaron Rodgers, and he's a little bit higher up in the list because I thought, he's very into grounding and nature and all of that. I thought he'll just take them out to the pool. My kids can swim for a while; they're fine.
Okay,
I would trust that.
All right. Well, this is where I went with The Rock. Now, I thought The Rock actually would do well with children.
Okay. I mean, he does have little girls,
but I just thought it was kind of a weird one. All right, number 7
is Ryan Reynolds. I don't know where to.
Wow, that is okay. What is your reasoning?
Okay. Well, now I'm interested to see where you're going to put him.
Well, why 7 for Ryan?
It was kind of like my back 4 that I was like, I just wouldn't want any of these individuals, so I just clumped him with them.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I went Hoda here.
We're going worst to best, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the game. I went Hoda because this might be spicy. I don't think Hoda is really as involved with her girls as she likes to put on.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to keep moving because that was apparently spicier than I intended. Number 6. Okay. Who did we have at number 6?
Number 6, I went Jason Kelsey.
Same.
He's down for a good time. Yeah, good time.
I went with Jason because I'm like, yeah, he would be so fun, but is he really going to pay that much attention to
right?
Because mine can find himself in a lot of trouble real quick. Yeah, it's been very obvious lately. Okay, number 5.
I went Travis Kelsey here.
Okay, I went Travis as well. Man, my Ryan Reynolds number is real high. Okay. Travis, again, great time. Probably not the best influence. He's going to get Judd in some trouble.
Right. Listen, but they'll be in trouble together.
It's true. All right. Number 4.
I went Blake Lively here. Listen, I
What is
feel
the reason?
While maybe I don't approve of all of her life choices, I feel like she would be a very good one to watch children. Like, you've done well for your own, so I trust
Like
her.
she bakes some good treats and things like that.
Yeah, they'd
Yeah.
have fun.
I actually went Ryan here. Um,
Okay.
I think he'd be a good time, and I feel like he's responsible.
But like a boring responsible. I feel like my kids would be so bored with him.
Really, I
It
think
gives
that
me like,
he's
let's read
so
a book and then
funny.
discuss it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he'd be funny. I think they'd go to the museum. I think,
Listen, if he starts pulling out Deadpool stuff, then my kids are in.
yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay. Number 3.
I went Taylor Swift on number 3.
Okay.
So good time. Listen, she'd be baking with them. She'd be outside with them. She'd be taking them to Travis. Like,
Mm-hmm.
cats. You
I
got
went,
cats, my kids are in. So,
I actually went Kylie here. And I
okay.
was actually going to put her further back because let me tell you, I feel like she might be strict, and Judd is not down for that. Like he would not be
That's
happy.
the environment my children are used to. So,
Yeah, that's where we differ a bit. But yeah. All right, number 2.
Kylie Kelsey.
Okay, I forget.
I need that structure there.
Oh, so wait a minute. Okay.
I know.
Okay, well, I went number 2. I actually went Taylor. Because I do think there's the aspect of she's a little busy, and if Judd has a little free time, he's going to get some havoc going.
Yeah.
But does that mean your number 1 is Hoda?
Yeah. Listen, before I ranked any of these, instantly I saw Hoda's name and I was like, number 1. That's it.
Holy baloney.
Yeah. If I've got to trust my children with people that I don't truly know, and
You
I
went
just
Hoda Kotb?
Hoda's who I'm going to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
unlike you, I actually think she is very involved with her children.
God, I don't. Now I'm going to
She's
find out which.
she's not.
Well, yeah, number 1, I went Blake because Judd loves a good treat, and she is a baking queen.
There you go.
Also, he's in love with her, so I just feel like he'd be happy.
Listen, nothing shows how we parent more than this list.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great question, though. We do have another ranking question later on. This interesting. I can't wait to hear what happens there. Okay, from Spencer. I'm not thinking Shador Sanders will amount to much in the NFL.
I like you, Spencer.
Yeah. But where do you think the best fit for him is? A, according to draft order, and B, just in general, draft order not included. So I took this to mean like our first answer is like the way the draft is. And then if the draft order was not relevant, where would we put him? Is that what you did? Okay. All right. So draft order in consideration, where do you have him?
So I think he would be a better fit in either San Francisco or Dallas. But that's like pick 11 and 12. And I don't know that he's still going to be in there, but I think he would be a better fit if we have to go. Because the first like 10, I'm like, I don't know that you'd be great there.
Well, that's interesting since Dion played for both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tricky because I don't think he's top 10 talent.
No.
But I think
but his name pulls so much.
About to say, this is almost like Beyonce winning album of the year.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to happen. So I actually have some kind of snafu happening and he ends up with the Raiders.
Okay. Which, I mean, he's talked about it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of what I think. But talent-wise, yeah, I just think that should matter, but
it should.
Yeah. Okay, so draft numbers not in consideration.
What he needs to go somewhere where he can grow and mature into the role and into the NFL. And I think that O'Connell in Minnesota does so well with young quarterbacks and kind of growing their confidence and building them up. I think he would be fantastic there. I think that would be a really good fit for him, but I don't know what their draft number is, but it's pretty high. He's not still going to be on the board when it gets to nor do I think that they would draft him.
Yeah. This is tough for me because again, it's like my mind, I try to be too logical with it.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking like take away the name and just based on the talent.
Right.
I do completely agree he needs some kind of leadership, but then I also I was leaning a little bit towards Dallas because I could see Dak being a decent like leader for him, but I think he's going to be a bust. I'm with you, Spencer. I think personality wise, let's send him to New York to the Giants and just see what happens.
Yeah. I think for me, personality wise, he's a Dallas fit because all they care about is marketing, branding, and all of that. Like you need to go somewhere like Minnesota or the Browns, somewhere that like your name and that flash doesn't mean anything. Like we need you to have good skill and we need you to grow that. But then again, that might be completely defeating for him. Like he's just
and I think that's why I went with the Giants because like, is he just going to self-implode when he figures out he doesn't have talent? So he's going to need his name to rely on, and I think that his name would matter in the flashing lights of New York.
That's fair.
But also, like you got Malik Neighbors, and he's never been without Travis Hunter.
Right.
So he kind of needs that person.
Yes, that is true.
Another interesting place for him to go as a backup would be the Bengals. It'd be real interesting to see Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Try to deal with him.
Man.
But Joe Burrow can obviously handle that personality because he's so close to Jamar Chase.
That's true. And Joe likes him some flash too.
Yeah, and some backless shirts and stuff. So, okay. From Shelly. Okay, this is funny. So I hate to admit this, but do you say, I say Us Weekly.
That's what I've always said.
Okay, there are people that say US Weekly. I don't think that's
what it is.
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Yeah.
But then right when I was going to say it, I was like, what if I've been wrong all these years? Okay, so Us Weekly would have us believe the Biebers are closer than ever since their vow renewal. First question, do you believe this? And second question, how do you feel about vow renewals? I will say this is a little speculative.
Yes.
I don't know, okay? Because like Hollywood marriages are like a weird thing.
Right.
But they are always together.
Yeah, I don't get we're about to divorce vibes from what we're seeing.
No.
I think a lot of that is just speculation and maybe wishing ill on them from other people.
Yeah.
From them, I don't.
Are getting that though, and I think there's like y'all need to calm down. Like let them be. We want the best for the Biebs. Let them be happy.
Yeah.
We have a lot of mental issues.
Yeah.
How do you feel about vow renewals?
Listen, I think that is the dumbest thing that you could ever do. It
For
is
anyone or just celebrities?
for anyone.
Okay.
Now, there's a caveat. I think when you have people like Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber's age, and they do a vow renewal, I think that's more for like the party of it.
Oh, I'd have another party for sure. Yeah.
But then anyone else that like has been married longer than a year that does a vow renewal, it's like a sure sign that this is your last ditch effort before we get divorce lawyers involved.
Yeah.
Listen, if you couldn't stick to your vows the first time, what's a renewal going to do?
Do you remember, did y'all write your own vows?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me for you being the English major. Now, is Doug into the whole English world as well?
No, but he's a way better writer than I am.
Okay, you wrote your own vows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still remember them?
I don't remember mine. I've got them written down somewhere in my little keepsake box.
Right.
I do remember he did quote Brad Pitt in his vows.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. We did not write our own vows. Have I ever told you the story of what happened right before we were going to go down the aisle?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we for sure didn't write our own vows, and I do not want to do that again at all. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I love my husband. I love that we're married. I can't imagine my life any different.
Yeah.
Despised getting married.
If I had it to do all over again, I think, of course, we had weddings because you grew up in the South and that's what you did.
Yep.
If I had it to do over again, I would not put myself through that.
Nope. We would have either gone to the courthouse or eloped, just the two of us, and then we would have just thrown a banger party because the other part is we did throw a banger party and we did not participate because I was tired. I'd had a massive panic attack and I just wanted to go to bed. And that is literally all I did at 8 o'clock that night. And we got married at 5:30.
Yeah.
So I would love to have participated. They ended up like we got married at a plantation home. Yes, just like Blake and Ryan. And I married a black man. So there you have
I was
it.
going to say, but you're okay. He's black.
Exactly. That's fine. They ended up like city ordinance. They had to be out of there at 11. Again, we got married at 5:30. And the bar was already open at that point. So they shut that place down, and then all 200 and something guests went to the only bar in town, and they shut that place down at like 3 a.m. So I totally wish I'd been a part of all that. But the actual vows themselves, I would never want to relive that. I do call to question when you've been married less than 10 years and you're already doing a renewal. I find that very odd.
Very suspicious behavior.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the flag on that.
But then, like, once you've been married like 15, 20 years and you do, why?
Is it not a vow renewal every day to be living the married life?
I mean, I guess I thought so.
I think I have always, for those of you who have had a vow renewal and no one has done anything nefarious, I apologize. But I have always thought when you do a vow renewal, someone did something wrong.
Listen, I have never known a couple in real life that has done a vow renewal that I didn't know that there was already a problem, or within the next year or two they were divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I
always side eye them. So,
but if you are truly happy, why wouldn't you just take that money and the two of you go take a fantastic trip?
Listen, I say my vows every day to him when I'm faithful, when I'm here, when I don't kill him. I mean, those are like, what else are you looking for?
Listen, literally last night we were going to bed and I said, I am so glad that you married me. And he said, me too. And because I have been a witch to deal with lately, and you have just put up with it with a smile.
Listen, Aaron said to me this morning, we've had this like weird thing that has happened since my mom passed away. I've been having these like really horrific nightmares. This whole thing. That's a whole other episode, different podcast. But I have every night I fall asleep in between his legs, like not in a sexual way. But it's because he lays there and reads, and when my nightmares start, he like wakes me up. He says to me this morning, this is where we're at in our marriage. He says to me this morning, he said, hey, Papaw here is going to need us to take a night off of you sleeping between my legs. And I said, he said, my hip is really hurting. That is our vow. So I guess he's breaking our vows today. I don't know. There's never a sexual thing involved. It is just me sleeping and flipping out in the middle of the night.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and he called himself Papaw, which I appreciated.
Okay.
This is from Holly, who's actually a friend of mine. And I was really excited to see that she listens to the podcast. She said, I'm going to give you a list of celebrities, and you don't have to speculate what. But tell me if you think they could be problematic and we don't know, or we just have never believed it. I already know this is going to go south real quick because of some of the options. She gave us some options. She gave us Taylor Swift, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Bradley Cooper, Hugh Jackman, Oprah, Tom Brady, Savannah Guthrie, Kelly Ripa, and Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
How did you answer? How did you answer this?
I did pretty simple yes, no answers. A couple of them I added.
Okay. I was going to say, I didn't rank mine. I guess she didn't say.
No, I didn't rank them.
Okay.
Just go down the list and we'll each give what we put.
Okay. So there's really 2 questions for each person. Are they problematic and we don't know it, or we just haven't, we've heard it and we just don't believe it? Okay.
Okay.
Taylor Swift.
No.
Yeah. I don't think she's problematic, and I don't even think it's because
it would have come out by now.
Yeah. Too many people, too long of her career. Blake Lively.
Yes.
Okay. So you believe she's problematic.
Yeah. And we know it. People have come out and said it.
Okay. All right.
But please.
Ryan Reynolds. Oh, wait. You wanted me to
answer. Don't skip.
Okay, let me reread the question. Okay. She said, do you think they could be problematic and we don't know, or we just have never believed it?
Which would be you.
I do not think that she is problematic. But I could be in the camp that I have heard it and I just don't believe it.
Okay, that feels like a fitting answer.
I also think perhaps Holly, and for the rest of the audience, maybe we need a definition of problematic because, like,
No, Holly, you don't have to explain yourself.
just say, like, there's differences in problem.
No, there's not.
There's not. Okay. Well, I'm real interested now to hear what you say about Ryan
really
Reynolds.
are really interested in this one.
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, so for Ryan Reynolds, I put blindly, yes. I don't think he's problematic. I think he can be led into problematic territories. And I'll let you read into that however you choose.
I mean, you are just coming for me today, aren't you? It is not an issue of not believing it about Ryan. I do think he could be problematic.
Yeah.
I don't know that, like, other than did he and Scarlett Johansson get divorced because he was having an affair with someone nameless? Other than that, and then current news, I don't feel like I've heard problematic stuff about him.
That's why I think it will be blindly so. Like, I don't think he'll do it intentionally. It's just he's gotten himself into something that he didn't realize that's where it was going.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
No, I just think he's awkwardly nice.
I think he's vanilla. Like, I just think there's nothing to him.
Yeah. I don't think he has anything to be problematic about. Like, he's just happy with life.
Yeah, I think he just toots around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Listen, before I would have said no, but given the new relationship, something just seems amiss.
Yeah,
I think there's some problematic tendencies there.
Yeah, I think we may have something there, and I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
It with him though, it's not that I wouldn't believe it. Like Blake, I would believe it if I'd heard it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's come out enough yet.
Yeah.
Oprah.
1,000% yes.
I think she may be the definition of problematic.
Right.
Tom Brady.
I'm gonna say no. I think he's high maintenance, but I don't think that he's problematic.
Yeah, again, I guess it depends on your definition of, like, are we talking about a diva or are we talking about, like, you've done some dirt?
Yeah, that's why I don't
think. If we're talking like you've done dirt, I'm going no. If we're talking diva, I'm going yes, which also applies to my Blake Lively answer. I just want to say.
Oh, of course. Thank you for clarifying.
Savannah Guthrie.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I think Savannah is famous, but I don't know what she would be problematic with. It's not like she's done a Matt Lauer kind of situation, you know, like I don't see it.
A couple of years back, they tried to say that like her and Hodo were like against each other and there was all these problems with diva behaviors on set. And then that came out to be like completely made up and untrue. And I'm like, even when you guys try and make her problematic, like she's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see that one at all. Kelly Ripa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do too.
God. Ugh.
I think she screams problematic on a lot of levels.
I think she intentionally tries to be problematic.
I think that she wishes she was more publicly problematic so people cared she still existed.
Yes. Yeah.
But also like the fact that you can't keep a co-host and we've got to get stuck with your husband.
Right. That tells us a lot.
Speaking of former co-host, Ryan Seacrest.
So for this one, I think he wants to be problematic to get his name out there, but I don't think that he is.
I think part of the problem with this entire list and with everyone that's famous is I just feel like in today's society, if you've done something, we're going to find out.
100%. People are going to come out and talk.
NDAs aside, like people still talk. Yeah. There's still footage and all that. So I don't think he's problematic. I don't know that I'm just going to leave it at this. This is not speculative because I'm not going to go further. I don't know that he is living his true self.
I would agree with that statement.
So I don't know if that's considered problematic.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Shane. Do you think Brett Veach and Coach Reed get input from TK, Travis Kelce, and PM Patrick Mahomes on players to go after and or keep? Any examples if so? It's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. I have no proof of any of it, so I don't know. I would venture to guess, though, that he does, if they choose to give input, which I think that they probably wouldn't most times. I think he would listen to it and look into it. Maybe more so Patrick, if Patrick is saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Because I think Patrick might be a little bit more vocal. But I think if any of his players came up and said, hey, I really think you should take a look at this player, I do think he genuinely would take his time to look into that. But I don't know if I have any examples of like anyone that I think that any of the players have come and said, hey, this is who we need to draft. I think they trust him. He's done a good job.
Yeah, listen, I never understand, but it's always good.
Right.
I don't know that I think either one probably says much during the draft. I would say that I do think that Travis probably sends a little text or something when it comes to like 53-man time, because there's been a couple people that I think have been on the cusp and McCall Hardman being one. I mean, he did get released at one point, went to the Jets for a couple months and then came back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't know that I see Travis being like, hey, I for sure do not believe Travis is like, it's them or me. 100% that's not happening. Yeah. But is he like, hey, let's do right by them? Yeah. I can definitely see those two specifically. I also think it's kind of obvious with Travis not going after the mega contracts that he could have had all these years. That's his way of, saying like, hey, I'd rather you keep so-and-so and pay me less. I could see that for sure. Yeah. When it comes to the draft, I don't see him caring as much, honestly, as Patrick probably cares in the draft, hence them going after people like Xavier Worthy.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a great question. If Brett needs any help, though, we are available.
Right. We've always got opinions.
Yeah.
We'll sit in the room on draft night.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be so fun to be in the room with them.
Oh my gosh. Just put me in that corner. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I don't say anything.
We'll just text each other the whole time.
I was just saying, you'll need my phone, but that's it. Also, it's just been announced on ESPN that President Trump will be at the Super Bowl.
Okay. Did Biden go? I feel like it's pretty common for presidents to be at Super Bowls, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know that I've paid a lot of attention. I can say in my previous line of work, it was not common.
Maybe it's just more common that they do like some kind of like a commercial type something. Yeah.
It seems fitting for him though. All right. Are you ready for some Y Factor?
Let's do it.
All right. What are you not liking this week?
So I have two. Okay. One of them's kind of small. Ever since we got TikTok back, my algorithm just can't seem to get it together. Yeah, and I'm not loving that. Yeah. I am seeing like some of the normal people that I saw, but I'm seeing a lot of rando accounts. I don't get it. So I don't love that. But my other one is the Pro Bowl. Did you watch any of it?
I did watch some, and we didn't even talk about it because honestly, I thought it was a bust.
Listen, I know they've been trying for the last few years to really kind of get it together. I'm going to say the flag football game, that was pretty good. I will give it to them. Like, that was enjoyable to watch. I felt like it was maybe a little bit too long. Maybe we need to tighten that up a little bit. But that was more enjoyable to watch. It was the skills, which I think you could make the skill part so fun and do so much with it. It really just came across like a glorified PE class that the coach was exhausted and was like, guys, there's some balls. Play. Go do something.
Play amongst yourselves. Yeah.
So I was really disappointed, and I was really hopeful this year maybe we would do a little bit better, but it just, you've got so much talent. You have all the money in the world at your fingertips to do so much with that it just seems very chaotic and unplanned. So I didn't love it as much as I wanted to love it.
Yeah. I have a few as well.
Okay.
Sorry for the cough. One we mentioned earlier, the jellyfish haircut.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Totally out. I don't understand the naming. A whole lot of issues. Number two, we actually talked about these earlier. You mentioned the little jogger suits that all the players wore last night. They're fine. But I thought that the logo for the Super Bowl should have been in color. I understand that we went monochromatic, but you're in New Orleans. Like,
right.
Color.
Like the land of color.
Fun. Like, I felt like that should be in color.
I could agree with that.
I get it though. Monochromatic is all the rage.
They should have called us.
There are so many things we could help with.
So many missed opportunities, guys.
Yeah. So those are my two that I would like. Okay. And what are you liking this week?
So what I am liking this week is apparently it was a podcast.
Oh, I forgot. Hold on.
Oh, no.
The presses. I forgot the other thing that I'm not liking.
Oh, yeah. Do tell.
I knew when I said there were a few and then I only had 2, I was like, that's not the right word because I had another one.
Okay, what is it?
Okay. So Judd is dealing with a rash. Okay.
Okay.
Apparently called molluscum something. It sounds like a Harry Potter spell. And apparently it can last 6 months.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. But on top of that, I don't know if you know, it's been like sub-zero here. And so he gets really bad eczema in the winter to where it honestly looks like his body is bruised. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, so I found after I had that face work done, which by the way, I'm getting redone on March 1st. I found because I had that peel thing done.
Yes.
I put Aquaphor on my face. Okay. When I had that done. So I have been using every lotion I can find on his eczema, and none of it is enough. It's
Even
like
the stuff that says it's for eczema doesn't work.
no.
Yeah.
So the other day I was like, I'm going to try the Aquaphor. Now I do it at bedtime because obviously Aquaphor is very sticky. And so like if you were in your real clothes, it'd be a real mess.
Yeah. Problem.
And let me tell you, it was fantastic. It really helped. Now he still looks like a disaster because this is what I have beef with.
Okay.
The packaging. Now listen, I know that Aquaphor is very thick, okay, and sticky. But when you try to squeeze it out,
listen, it's a whole thing.
It's so hard. And so I can't do it every day. It's partially because the thing's still jacked up. Maybe I should get Aaron to do it. He has enormous hands. But yeah, it's the packaging. I need it to come in a pump.
Yes.
So Aquaphor. Maybe
let's call them.
I need a pump because my kid looks abused and he's not. So. Okay, go ahead. What are you liking? Sorry.
Okay, so what I'm liking this week is there is a new documentary on ABC. It also comes out on Hulu the next day on Thursday. I think it's Thursday nights, if I remember correctly. It's 4 parts. The first part came out last week. The second part will come out this week. It's called Scamanda. Apparently, it was this huge
legal name.
I know. It was a podcast. And now they have, I guess, bought the rights or whatever. And so they're doing it. It's about this lady that faked cancer for almost a decade.
Oh, yeah. And her name is Amanda, isn't it?
Her name is Amanda.
Yeah.
Mandy, I'm going to tell you, it is so good.
Okay. I'm going to have to do that.
So, and I want to say it was like an hour-long episode. So, like, it's a quick watch. Okay. But again, it's 4 parts and it's coming out every week. So, this week will be the second one. And it's on Hulu if you don't watch it live on ABC. So, we loved it.
I'll have to check that out. I had seen it written about, but I didn't follow the story. So,
and I've been looking for like a good documentary. That's it. That'll do it.
All right. Well, is that all that you have? Just one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because I have 4.
Oh, good.
Okay. So number 1 is actually a documentary as well. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, O.J. Simpson.
A few times.
Okay. A few times. Well, there's another new documentary about him on Netflix.
Okay. I saw this the ad for it and I was like, is this going to be good?
So I have some, I don't really know the way to put it. I have some personal connections into which I have always pretty much stayed away from the Simpson case.
Okay.
For like just a reason that we can't get into.
For those listening to this podcast to this point, Mandy has some connection to literally everyone.
Listen, I've had a weird life. Weirder by the day. But I've always because I know someone who was very close to OJ and I'm very close to this person, they have always believed he was innocent. So even as a child, when this happened, it seemed odd to me that he would be innocent. So I've just kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah.
Now I've seen the things that have come out before, but I got to say, I've been watching the documentary and I want to say 2 episodes in. I want to say it's only like maybe a 4-part or 2. I don't even remember.
Okay.
It is really good. Now, if you have watched a lot of the other ones, I don't know how it compares because this is honestly the first time I've sat down to watch one. I did not watch. I watched part of the thing when David Schwimmer played Robert Kardashian.
I didn't watch any of those.
That weirded me out, so I just couldn't do it. I will say for me personally, so if you've seen all the other ones, this may not be great. But for me, it is really, really good. Okay. It's got all the people that are still alive.
Like Clark and all of them.
Yeah. And and the investigators, the people that were the negotiators trying to get him to pull over, his friends that testified. I will say something I found very startling is, and I don't know how this is, maybe the Simpson and what is it, Goldman,
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe their families are okay with it, but also some of the evidence, like the pictures of them deceased, like you see them fully.
Like not blurry?
No, I was stunned, and it's multiple times. It's not a mishap. Like it happens quite often. I mean, it is just horrific. So definitely don't know for the child, but yeah, totally shocking. But now listen, it's terrible what happened to them, but I love getting the real stuff, and so I appreciated that. But I mean, I'm assuming
I'm going to add this because I want to watch this now.
it's really good so far. I'm only on episode 2, but it's very informative, very detailed. I don't know how it ends yet. So I mean, I know how the case ends. It's not like I don't know if the Titanic sunk. I mean, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so there's that one. That was one. Something got announced this past week, and I am so wholeheartedly in on this. I don't know how I can get involved. I don't know who I can talk to, but I am actively needing to play a role in this.
Okay.
Candace Parker, who I love from the WNBA. She, along with Peyton Manning and several other people, including Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, Bill and Chrissy Haslam, which I think made me a ticket in because they're political. They are trying to bring a WNBA expansion team to Nashville. Have you seen this news?
No.
Guess what they want to call it?
What?
Summit, for Pat Summit. I don't know if you can see this.
Love it.
Tennessee, they want to call it Summit.
Perfect.
I could not be more in. Pat Summit was just everything to me as a kid.
Well, I guess the Asbury's are moving to Nashville.
No, we're not moving to Nashville. We're probably in Kansas City till we die, but I will do anything I can to.
It's awesome.
I'm wanting this to happen so badly for her legacy, but also I think Candace Parker being in ownership with that group of people. Oh my gosh, I've got to get in it somehow. Okay, so that was number 2. I know I need to hurry up. No, I only have 3 things. So sorry.
Long episode today, guys.
So sorry. Number 3, I just have to say that last night at the media night stuff, when they were doing the little things and they were talking to Andy Reid, he had several funny answers. But one of them was a really funny question. They asked him, and I think this was an homage to Brittany Mahomes being in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Yes.
He said, or they asked him, like, which players should be in the swimsuit edition. And he said, well, if it's like a dad bod episode, I would say Patrick. And he was like, but anything else, I guess me. I was so here for it. I was like,
I would love it.
Could not love him more because I could just see him in his little Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Khaki standing out on a beach.
100%
just
leaned up against a palm tree. 100%.
I loved every moment.
With Travis peeking out behind.
Yes, I need this to happen now immediately. Is all I'm saying.
Best answer.
Okay, I think that's all I had. Do you have anything?
Listen, we've covered the gamut today, guys. Okay.
So we're at almost 2 hours. So we'll see how this one does. Thanks for listening. Next week we will be back and recapping the Super Bowl.
Oh man.
Okay, we'll talk to y'all then.
Bye, y'all.